Hello, viewers around the world. It's a privilege to be with you again this beautiful Thursday. Is an honor to come teach about um, this topic, fatherhood, again, which I have decided to ride on, like I always say, for a long period of time. My name is James Oshakwade. I have decided to take on this baton to run with this program called Fatherhood, because I believe fathers are the essence of life. I believe that when God created man, he created man first, then man became Adam, which was the male man, became the first father of life. And we all came, I believe that we all came through this singular man called Adam. God brought into being um, um, billions of people that have existed on this earth through one man, through one father called called Adam. So I believe fathers are the essence of life. Fathers are the reason why the whole world is revolving right now. I keep saying this, that in between Genesis 1:26 and Genesis 2:24, the name man came into place 12 times. The name man came into place 12 times before a father was born. And I strongly believe that there's a reason why God have to make the name man to come into place 12 times before a father was born. So so far, I am still teaching on the second phase, where man appeared. The second verse where man appeared was in Genesis 1:27. I've talked about the first phase where man appeared, which was in Genesis 1:26. So if you want to listen, you want to hear about what I share about the first phase, you can go on my page, and there are series about that in the previous week. So last week I was talking about the female man. The female man has been the egg. The female man has been the incubating device that the man needs, that the substance in the man needs for what? For procreation, to continue. And I strongly believe that a man needs to understand the fact that what? The female man is an incubator. The female man is an incubator. I spoke about that last week, Thursday. The reason why the female man is an incubator, and the reason is this: when you give a female man a substance, she incubates that substance and present it back to you as what? As a seed, as a fruit. For example, you give a female man a sperm, for example, she incubates it over a period of time and return a full-blown human, a baby, a smaller human called a baby, and present it to you. When you give a woman a house, she incubate it over a period of time, and she return it back to you as a home. So I strongly believe that what any man should understand this fact, that before he can what take hold on the baton of fatherhood, before he can start the race of a father, he needs to understand this principle that the female man would represent an incubating machine, incubating substance that can help him would incubate that little substance he has gotten in his hand and propagate it into a bigger stuff. So I made examples of people that have what made it largely on this world we are living today, right now. I made examples of successful men that made it because of what? Because they have a woman, they have a wife that is helping them to incubate that substance they've got. They have a woman that is helping them behind the scene to incubate that substance and what return it back to them as what? As a fruit. So far on this phase, this second phase, I would say a man is a plant. A man is a plant, like what the woman is the plant. So far from my research, I'm attributing a human to be what? To be plant, because what? Because in the scripture we saw it, how that man, when Christ touched his eyes, when he spat on the mud and touched his eyes, and Jesus asked him, what did you see? He said, I saw men walking like trees. So this to show you that what? That men are attributed to what? Attributed to plants, and a woman also is attributed to a plant. So I was making reference to a flower in the last teaching, how the male flower has got a substance called pollen. This pollen is transported through what? Through the medium of wind or an insect to another kind of flower, which is the female flower, and what? Before you know it, incubating process start up through that word, through that process. So a flower represents plants, and we know that what? Plants would survive on earth. There's no plant that can what? Survive on air. Every plant would survive on earth. I repeat again, every plant survive on earth, and for the plant to survive on earth, the plant have to what? To be planted as a seed first. It has to what? Go into the soil as a seed first, and before you know it, what? Mother Earth what? Incubate the seed. Mother Earth what? Eat the seed, takes care of the seed, and in no time, over a period of time, depending on what? Depending on the kind of flower, depending on the kind of trees, over a period of time, you see the seeds start budding, and before you know it, it keeps growing until it becomes what? It becomes a huge tree. That's the same way a man must understand it before he becomes a father, that what? The substance he has got, that there's another word, another man, there's another man, another kind of himself, which is called the female man. The male man, God created the male man and the female man. They are all in the category of what? of man. So he should understand that what the female man is carrying something. That thing we call it what? An egg. It is inside that egg that incubation takes place. Incubation takes place in the egg. So that substance that the man is carrying, until it finds a way and what gets into that egg, incubation cannot happen. Incubation cannot happen. You can see the reason why I mention it, that what a man what needs to understand that a woman is what is carrying what a system, an incubating system. It is the nature of a woman to incubate that substance a man is what is introducing into them. So just like Mother Earth accept that seed and incubate it and return it through budding, and before you know it, it grows into what? Into a huge tree. Likewise, any woman represents Mother Earth. Any woman represents Mother Earth. If you are that man that will do what? Exceptionally well in life, you must understand that before you take hold on the man, or take hold of the mantle of fatherhood, you must understand this fact that what? Your wife is what? Is an incubating machine. That when you drop what? A substance into her, she incubates it and return it what? Back to you as what? As a seed, as a fruit. That is who she is. And any man must so understand it, that seeds grow in different soil. For example, I understand and I believe that what? An apple seed doesn't grow in a hot region, where, for example, you plant an apple seed in the west, for example, it's not going to grow, because what? The temperature, the environment affect the soil, is not suitable for that seed to germinate. But when you take the apple seed, you take it to another area in Nigeria called Jos, because the temperature there is cold. The apple seed, what? The mother earth accept the apple seed in that region, in that area, and incubate it, and it start what? Growing to start producing apples in return. So likewise, do also any man needs to understand this, that what? The kind of area the woman is coming from is likewise important. But this goes to what? To men that needs to get married, that looking forward a wife, someone that they will live with all their life, and a woman they will live with all their life. Why I'm saying it is that what? For a plant to grow, it takes what? Nutrient. It takes nutrients from the soil where it is planted. That seed takes nutrient from the soil where it is planted, for it what? Not to die, for it to be what? Incubated and what? And brought forth into the air and start growing. So likewise, do any man need to also understand it, as so that he needs to check. You need to look into what? The reason why you are picking that what? That female man, that woman, to become your wife. I talked about what? purpose, that what the first purpose of the man is to what is to do the truth. The truth is the word of God. The truth is what is everything written in the scriptures. That is the first what assignment, first assignment of man. Let's go to Psalm 85 in verse 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven. You see, why I said the reason why man is created is to serve his maker, is to do the will of the maker. You can see that truth shall spring out of the earth. So your job as the man is to what? Is to make sure you plant truth. You plant truth in the earth so that it spring forth. It spring forth from the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven. Then righteousness shall look down from heaven. That means the righteous God, God himself, will look down in heaven. And in verse 12, what does it say? That the Lord will give what is good from heaven, and our land will yield its increase. Our land will yield its increase. Our land will yield its what? Its increase. You can see why it is important that you understand this major reason for your existence as a man, that you need to what? Serve God with all your mind, with all your heart, with every fiber of your being. This reason for your existence helps you to what? To determine the kind of what? The kind of woman you are going to what? You are going to bring into your life. When you understand what this purpose, it helps you to choose. It helps you to look into that person that will fit into what? Into this what? Into this purpose, into this reason for your existence. And before you know it, in no time, the righteous God looks from heaven, and what? Your land start producing. Your land start producing. I spoke about what? A brainchild. That a brainchild have to come from every man listening to me, because what? Because God has given you a brain. God has given you might. You have to produce your brainchild so that it can what? It can sustain you while you live here on earth. But most importantly, when you plant a good what? A good seed, the seed of the of truth in the soil, then God looks down. It's mandatory for God now to look down into what? Into your earth. You can see why it is important. Why it is important to understand the reason for your existence, to understand why you are here on earth. It helps you to what? To determine who you are going to what? Who you are going to marry as a man, who you are going to spend your life with as a man. And in no time, every seed, every substance you introduce into what? Into the egg the woman is carrying, when it is introduced into the woman, everything, the seed comes out what? It comes out to bring forth what? A good seed. A woman, I said it earlier, represent the earth. Just like you plant what? A seed in the earth that needs to take time, the earth incubate the seed and return it back as a tree that produce fruit. Likewise do a woman too. You what? You introduce a substance into them, they will incubate it and return it back to you what? as what? As a seed, as a seed that germinates, that become a full-blown man. So also a female man, I said it earlier on, that a female man what carries a egg. She carries what? She carries a egg, that what? That substance, you will introduce into that egg, what would incubate over a period of time, and she returns it back to you as what? As a fruit. But I was, as a seed, um, um, as a seed. But I was making mention of the different terrain of what? Of soil. The different terrain of what? Soil whereby you plant your seed. It depends on what? On your purpose. I mentioned that earlier. I'm trying to clarify that. Depends on your what? On your reason for what? For existing. Depend on your reason for existing. For example, you won't say you are an engineer and you go to the lab where the doctor is, and say you want to what? You want to operate there as an engineer. No, that's actually another kind of soil. The engineering soil is different from the what? The medical soil. The medical soil is different from what? The intellectual soil. So there are different soil that suit what? The purpose of what? Of any man. So do you need to understand your purpose, so that you what? You understand what? Your soil, so that when what? When you bring that woman, she represent the soil, you understand the kind of what? The kind of soil you are going to be planting that substance into. So God has what? Have made every man what? A seed. God have made any man a seed that will what? That will be planted here on earth, and what? And germinate and become a big tree. But unfortunately, a man, the male man, can't do it alone. That was why God had to bring what? The female man. After he brought forth the male man, he had to bring forth the female man through the male man, because God understood this fact that what? The man needs an helpmate. He needs someone that will help him incubate that substance, that dream is carrying. He needs someone to help him fulfill that purpose. So any man is designed to stick out and fit into a hole for his purpose to be fulfilled when he is planted here on earth. You can see this, that any man is designed to stick out. Every male man listening to me right now, your job is to stick out. Your job, your assignment is to stick out. You are designed to stick out. And when you stick out, what? A substance is produced. A substance is produced. Any man listening to me right now, I'm repeating it again. Before you take hold on the mantle of fatherhood, you must understand that what? It is mandatory for you to stick out. It is necessary. It is compulsory for you to understand that you need to stick out. You need to press forth. You need to come out. Because what? The reason why you need to come out is that what? You will what? Produce a substance. You will produce a substance. that that female man needs for to help you to incubate that substance and return it to you back as a huge youth seed. So based on my research here, I discovered that any man need to stick out and fit into a hole. That hole is the woman. That hole is the woman. Don't forget in Genesis 1:1, even God himself had to stick out, and the Bible recorded that let's go to Genesis 1 Genesis 1 in verse 2. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the water. You can see the face of the deep. Darkness was upon the face of the deep, but God had to stick out and over. God had to stick out and over what? Over that, the face of the deep. Even God had to come to the surface of the earth and stick out, and for creation, for procreation to continue. Likewise, do a man need to stick out and fit into a hole. That hole I call the female man. The female man is the hole whereby the man need to stick out, but most importantly, when the man sticks out, it produces a substance, and that substance is what that hole, that woman. Don't forget, I mentioned it earlier, that a woman represents an incubating device, an incubating machine that the man needs. And you can see there's something profound here. If the man did not stick out, is not going to fulfill purpose. Even when the man sticks out and produce the substance that the woman need, if the whole, I represent the woman as the whole. If the woman is not available, that substance will not be incubated. That is why the man and the woman, God needed both of them for procreation to continue, because God understood this principle of sticking into a hole for incubation to take place, so that procreation could continue. So for any man to fulfill purpose on earth, he needs to understand this fact that he needs to stick out. He needs to stick out so that he could produce a substance. So until a man sticks out and fits into a hole, a seed is not planted for the essence of growth. You can see this from this research I made. Until a man sticks out and fits into a hole, a seed is not planted for the essence of growth. So when the man sticks out, I said that earlier, he produces what? He produces a substance. He produces like that flower, that pollen that sticks out, that the wind had to blow away, that the animal have to come into and take away to that hole, to that female flower, which represent the hole that incubate that. So likewise, do a man need to stick out for him to produce that substance, so that it is taken through the medium. I call that wind medium, through the wind medium, or inside medium, the mating mating. It is designed by God that way, that what a man needs to what to mate. A man needs to mate with a woman, not in forming what a child alone, but in every word, in all ramification, in business, in anything. A man needs to stick out and what and look for a hole to what to fit into. That hole to fit into helps that man to fulfill the reason for existence. And when that is done, incubation takes place. Incubation what starts, and before you know it, the seed is produced. The seed is produced, just like the way you stick into yourself, and you think about what that thought, and it brings out what a brainchild, and you start from the scratch, and you start something. It becomes a reality, which you start small as what as the seed, and you start growing. So likewise do you need to what sticks out, so that that what substance will be introduced into what into that hole. When a man sticks out and fits into a hole of research, light is produced. Wow, what a profound discovery. When a man sticks out and fits into a hole of research, light is produced. You can see this. Light is what light is produced. When you stick out, I said you what you produce a substance, and you fit into when you stick out and fit into what into a hole, a substance is deposited. A substance is deposited. A substance is deposited, and in no time, what happened? A seed is what is produced. Now I mentioned it that what when you want to start what your business, you want to start something, your that period of time while you are thinking about that thing, I term it as what as research. I term it as research. When you stick into what into that hole, into that idea, before you know it, light is produced. That light what is the seed you produce. That light is the seed you produce, that everyone will see around the world and give what glory to God. My time is fast spent, but what I'm trying to emphasize here is that before you take hold on the mantle of fatherhood, any man needs to understand this, that what he needs to stick into what a hole, and when you stick into the hole, a substance is what is produced, and with the aid of that substance, what happen? A seed is born, and in no time that seed break forth. It breaks forth, which I call what light. It breaks forth and become what becomes a huge what substance that is brought forth back to us. So that all I attribute it to what a woman. Why I attribute it to a woman is that what a woman represents the earth. That's why they call it mother earth, because it is a mother, because what you put into it, it what it incubate it and return it back to you as a huge tree, as many fruits. The same way, like you when you fit into a woman and the substance is produced, we call spermatozoa. It incubates, the woman is incubated and return it back to you as a full-blown human being. Likewise, when you fit into that research into that thing you love doing, what happened? A substance is released, and in no time it is produced back to you as a seed. So any man listening to me, you need to understand this fact that what that you need to stick out. You are meant to stick out and locate your O. And when you locate your O and fit into the kind of O you fit into, what happens that you produce a substance, and what incubation process starts happening, and in no time a seed a seed is born that starts germinating, that starts growing. One more time, my name is James Oshakwade, and I'll continue on this phase, on this second phase, next week, Thursday by 6:30 p.m. Thank you for listening. Thank you.